Unlike, I don't remember what it's called. Daitekoku. This one I can actually play on stream. That's not a good transition, but you know, I'm just speaking facts. But either way, Angelic Chaos. Alright. Lolly Soft. You wish. But either way, last time we played through, we showed Noah our peanuts. That's basically all we did. I mean, you know, we got the motorboat Kaguya for a solid few days, and then you know, Riku kind of got fed up with only getting motorboated by the same boobs every day. So you know, that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe it's because it's because he needs someone else's boobs. Also, I remember what they're called, right? The guys that come up to you. Oh, well, it's mainly in Japan. That come up to you and are like, "Do you want to get a drink at the bar? At this bar?" They're called barkers, right? Not a pun. Not it's not a play on word because of the name, because of referencing bar, but it's also the only reason I remembered is because that's what she was called when you first meet her, and I had to skim through that part again because it's the only way I can get CGs in this game until, you know, they actually give me a fucking gallery, because this is not a right. But I can't like why do VNs do this where I'm just not given the fucking gallery? It's not like it's unlocked after you finish the gallery, alright? It's only unlocked after you finish a route. So why not have it unlocked at the start of the game? Go fuck yourself. But either way, enough rambling on. Let's don the appropriate attire, right? I forgot to do that last time. And let's jump right into it, shall we? You motherfucker. I think the rainy season might be past us. The skies today are so beautifully clear. Unfortunately, that means it's hot and humid. Not the nice sunny day I would have hoped for by any means. The cloud looks like a private part. Do I need to go back to see to verify? I don't see it.
僕、人として暮らすことに対して文句はないけど、この暑さだけは苦手だ。
Well, this is just the start. This is just the start. It's gonna get hotter than these next few moments. The next few months.
お父さんとかお母さんの頃、昭和とかはもうちょっと過ごしやすかったらしいけど。
Yeah, but they didn't have AC in all the classrooms back then, did they?
ああ、それがあったか。正直僕はエアコンなしで暮らしていける自信がないよ。それは私も。
Let's hurry on inside. I need that AC blasting on my face ASAP.
同感。日差しが辛い。
Bro, I wish that the AC would do that sometimes, but you know.
だね。
Right as we head toward the entrance,
あ、ちょうどいいところに。
Kaguya,
おはようございます、皆様。
Orie is forced to act normal, you know.
おはよう。
Hey,
おはよう。おはようございます。あまねもいるのね。ちょうどよかった。ちょうどいい？思いついたのよ。昨日言っていた最終試験のこと。
wow, that was fast.
そんなに特殊なことじゃないから。おっと、これ以上は説明できないわよ。
Yeah, I know.
結局私がいてちょうどいいってどういうこと？今日の最終試験、あまねにも協力をしてほしいのよ。お願いできるかしら？
I don't like where this is going. I don't know if it's a good idea for Amane to be helping him with his final test.
はい、それは別に。私に協力できるようなことなら構わないけど。安心して。ものすごく簡単なことだから。それなら、わかりました。よかった。それじゃあ、細かい話は放課後に。予定は開けておいてね。
Amane is fully blood related? Yes. Okay. How are we going to discuss this? Okay. Here's the thing, right? With Sora, there is no discussion. They are fully blood related. With Amane, they are blood related. But are we referring to the these versions, or they're reincarnated, or what they reincarnated from? Right, because Diablo and whatever the fuck her name was when she was a vampire definitely aren't blood related. I think this version is the most important. So, but here's the thing, right? If Riku transmigrates into Diablo, are they still blood related? Because when he transmigrates, it's a completely different body. Right? He's grown horns. His hair is different. His hair is completely different. His eyes are completely different. Right? Maybe his dick is bigger. maybe listen, I'm just saying, right? There can only be there are only a few ways for Riku to get hard again. And you know, unless you re-unlock his powers, I don't think he's gonna get hard. Right? So like, does he become Diablo in the hate scenes? Because we're not gonna see him. There's only one body part we'll see. No? What do you mean no? I'll tell you that. Okay. Right. さてと、それじゃあ、もう一人。私？そう。今日の放課後、くるみにも協力をしてもらえると助かるのよ。From the hate scenes with Noah that I've seen, it has been with himself. Right. So, here's the thing. It's very obvious that the final test has something related to the Kurumi and Amane's transmigrated forms, right? So, you know. 手伝えることなら全然手伝うけど、私で平気なの? Or does it? What do you? or does it? Well, let's keep it
くるみじゃないと困るのよ。
keep it in the air.
どういうこと？くるみとリクは前世からのつながりがあるでしょ？そのつながりがあるくるみだからこそリクに新たな影響を与えられると思う。だからこそくるみに協力をしてほしいのよ。
Listen, maybe you should use a different word other than stimulation. Cause like when cause when I hear it, I'm thinking like, you know, grabbing her horns and you know the rest she can imagine.
ああ、そっち系の。わかった。協力する。ありがとう、くるみ。気にしないでいいよ。困ってるならお互い様。それに谷風くんにはお礼をしなきゃと考えてたところだから。
Huh? Why do you need to thank me?
あまねちゃんを紹介してもらったでしょ？
Well, yeah, that's the problem. You're a fucking casual, bro. Like, you know, I don't think, you know, I don't think Amane feels the same way.
昨日一緒にゲームをしたんだけど、すっごい楽しかった。
Oh, right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Amane, on the other hand, had a much different experience. At least Kohibari seems delighted. I guess I made the right decision in linking them up. As bad as I feel for Amane.
それじゃあ悪いけど、今日の放課後、付き合ってもらえるかしら。は
Thanks, Kohibari.
いいよ、そんなの気にしなくて。前世からの仲なんだしさ。なんてね。とにかく放課後だね。わかった。開けとく。
Wonderful.
連絡事項は以上です。今日もお疲れ様でした。明日もちゃんと投稿してください。
So, like, when are we gonna get back to thinking about Fumika, right? Because, like, she's one of the 6 girls on the transition screen, I guess. Yeah. Fumika looks like a Dolchisaki. Well, that's kind of what happens when you have the same... That's what kind of what happens when you have the same art department for both games. Or every game.
暑くなってきてますが、油断して風邪とかひかないように。では、ホームルームを終了します。
With that, Fumika leaves the room. I start gathering my belongings.
それじゃあ、私たちは先に帰るわね。
Chisaki has bright blue eyes. Okay, here's the problem, right? Whenever I think about Chisaki, I always also start thinking about... Hang on. I always also start thinking about... Hibiki, right? Because they both have red hair and blue eyes. So, you know...
予定は変わらずで良いのですよね。
I don't know how bright Chisaki's eyes and hair are because I keep thinking about Hibiki's extremely bright red hair and blue eyes. Fumika is like a dull Chisaki. Fumika is a Chisaki that has been Fumika is a Chisaki that has been battered by the real world. And that's kind of what happens when she's one of the only characters in that game that doesn't have powers. Yeah, of course.
わかった。じゃあ、待ってるわね。
Or whatever they called it in Friddle Joker, I don't know.
では、また後ほど。くるみ、 どこか寄ってく？あ、私買い物しに行きたいんだけど。ごめん。今日はちょっと用事があるんだ。そうなの？付き合う？
Chisaki's eyes were more of a light blue. Right.
私一人で平気。個人的な要件があるだけだから。
Okay. So. So, the suspenders, right? Do they add in? I don't know why I'm asking you this, because you don't like big boobs, but do they? I guess I'm just asking this in general. Do they add to do they help, I guess, in accentuating the breasts, if you will, of these characters? Because, like, okay, let's just say, why is it that I never really thought about suspenders like that, or in general? Well, that's because you don't really think about them on a uniform, right? But here's the thing, right? Other than, because, like, you've got Kurumi, you've got Amane, you've got Kaguya, you've got Orie, and all of them have big tits and suspenders. And then you got Shiraishi to the left, and then Noah, and they don't have suspenders. Kaede is kind of like the exception here.
気持ちだけもらっとくね。ありがとう。
And I don't think Mikuni had suspenders either, right? So, like, you know, are the artists doing this for a reason, right? You know, it's like, well, other than the fact that they aren't actually going over the tits because of how big they are. Look, okay. There are a lot of things in Kurumi. There are a lot of things when it comes to how Kurumi wears her uniform that very, very much accentuates the tits. Case in point, the bow that is pressed in between them, and the suspenders that don't go over them. I prefer more cute and frilly outfits personally. No shit, you like Lolita outfits. Yeah.
駅まで一緒に行く？それとも急ぎ？
You like the Lolita design, which, you know, is like Noah. Not from this game, but 9-9. Her black outfit. Her casual outfit.
駅までは一緒に帰ろっか。
Don't worry, I remember. Oh, well, that's what she's saying. Whatever. Kohibara communicates to me with visual cues before leaving the classroom. We're going to meet up in front of the high-rise later. You don't hear that. Well, if I could choose, I prefer pink and white Lolita, sweet Lolita outfits, I think it's called. Yeah, but like, Noah's gothic, not goth. Goth would mean she's also wearing like black makeup and stuff like that, right? She's wearing gothic style Lolita, which is like, I don't remember her name. The girl from Gothic. Yeah. My favorite are pink and white Lolita outfits. You say that, but you also want to get dominated by lollies. And, you know, the theming of the outfit does not match up with the personality. All right, it's not even like a juxtaposition thing. It's just, you know, it's not a good pairing. It's not an opposite attract kind of thing. You know, that's the point. Okay. Does Yuka wear? Does Yuka wear? Pink and white lily outfits. Well, yeah, I guess Yuka's. I'm using her as an example because she's your favorite. I want a Dairy lolly to turn yandere on me. Okay, well that's not what a Mesugaki is. All right, you didn't hear that. A Mesugaki is not a yandere. All right, Nagatoro is not a yandere. She's a completely different dere type, but you know, she's closer to yandere. Mesugakis aren't really my favorite. Well, I never hear you talking about how much you want to dominate lollies, so, you know. This Mesugakis end up being dominated themselves. Well, yeah, that's why I like domination loss. Anyway, stop talking about Mesugaki. The only lolly in Angelic Chaos is the pure Noah, who definitely won't dominate Kakeru in any hate scenes. Right? Kinoshita and Shiraishi would probably ask questions if they saw us leaving together, and we don't have a good excuse.
では、僕たちも行こう。
See? Noah doesn't have suspenders. I just want a sweet lolly to just lose her control of her love for me and just dominate me into submission. Is that weird? Okay. Next question then. Chondo. Yeah. What about her? Not the
谷風くん、ちょっといい？
not the person behind the model itself. All right. Oh, Miss Ozato. Do you need help with something?
ちょっとした確認なんだけど、平気？
Yeah. What do you ask?
なんだか様子が少し変な気がしたんだけど、コミュニケーションを取る相手が変化してる気がして、最近女の子とよく話してるでしょ？
She glances at Noah. Now that she mentions it, I guess I have been talking to different people in class. Well, Noah lives with me, and Kaguya and Orie only just started school here, so...
あ、勘違いしないでね。友達が増えるのはもちろんいいことだよ。ただね、時折妙に深刻な顔つきのようにも見えたから。
Are you sure? Maybe you should help him with that. How are Fumi no, never mind. How are they going to transition into them wanting to be together? Never mind. Oh. She leans in and whispers to me.
もし何か困ってることがあるなら、私に相談してくれてもいいからね。年上だからこそ力になれることもあるだろうしさ。
I still think her model and outfit is adorable. My favorite color is pink. Maybe that plays a part. Yeah, but Shondo's aesthetic is purple. Thanks, Fumika. but I'm fine, I promise. More like the darker side of purple.
そう？
Yeah. I appreciate your willingness to help, Fumiko. If I ever run into problems, and they get too stressful for me to handle, I'll be sure to come to talk to you. I also prefer romance and everything sexual, so you know, well, yeah, but I was saying my favorite type of aesthetic. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. I'm the opposite, alright? I prefer sexual things in my romance, alright? Not the other way around.
わかった。
I see you're paying a lot of attention to me, though. You're doing a great job as a teacher.
ありがとう。でも、褒められることでもないよ。だって、今回気づけたのは、りっくんだからだよ。りっくんはさ、妙に私の目を引くんだよね。
Me, I want both sexual and romance together. Okay, Dexter, here's the thing. The problem is, the quality of an eroge is completely different depending on whether they focus on sex more or they focus on romance more. There is a complete disparity when it comes to how well written a romance is compared to how shittily written a H game is, specifically H game, because eroge can be considered both, technically. Well, yeah, but I want them both together at the very least. I want a well-written story that has snippets of sex as small rewards. Right? I don't want it to be about sex. And I'm not saying this because because I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm not saying this because of any reason relating to content creation. I'm saying this as someone who plays those games. Alright, I've played those games before. Squid Game reference.
だから余計に気になっちゃって。
Was it really that noticeable?
そういう意味じゃないよ。多分昔からよく知ってるせいだろうね。あ、他の子を気にしてないってわけでもないよ。
I know that. I'm fine though, I promise. Like, there is no reason... There is no reason H games should be so shittily written. But the problem is that the writers focus too much on the sex part. Right? That's the problem. They focus too much on the sex part and not much anything else. It's the same reason why I disliked Karen's route so much in MML. Because once they started fucking, there was nothing much of substance. There wasn't really much else in regards to anything that happened in her route. Other than, oh, she turned into a fox after. So now they're worried that she might turn into a fox while they have sex. And then they kind of evolve off that when it's like, oh, it's because you know they need to do the dance every however many years. All right, so then she can be human and then they can have sex without her turning into a fox. As long as there is monogamous relationship, monogamous romance, I'm all good. But a good story is also wanted. Right, yeah, that's I already know you care more about the sex in these games than the story. As long as there's a lolly in it, alright? You don't have standards when it comes to a H game with a lolly in it.
わかった。でもさっき言った通り、何かあったら相談してね。
If you cared so much about the story of a visual novel, the first game I played wouldn't have been My Klutzy Cupid. All right, it wouldn't. It would have been a much better written game. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. I know. Well, if I ever need help.
Huh?
Well, we'd better get going now.
そうだね。さようなら、小里先生。
Bye.
はい、さようなら。
Noah, Mane, and I then make our way to the high rise. Now, where's Kohibari?
いたいた。
Basically, I like to read the story of Lolly character when I'm jacking off. Dexter. When a H scene is an hour long, I kind of just lose it. All right. I don't get hard when I go through the H scenes of any of the VNs that I've played. Maybe in 9-9, but the thing is, the biggest problem is that they're the exception. When it comes to, well, first of all, they're much shorter than hour long, and they're animated. Slightly animated, but animated nonetheless. I like the long H scenes. I don't want to continuously hear what the main character is thinking at every single second of the sex. All right.
ごめん、待たせたかな。
I want there to be a reason as to why it's long. Not, oh, let's keep fucking putting in filler so that the guy reading this can jack off to the still image longer. Nope, we just got here. Your friends give you any trouble?
平気。うまくごまかせたと思うから。どうもくるみ先輩。昨日はありがとうね。本当に楽しかった。
This is the disparity between hang on, where is it? This is the disparity between top tier character interacting with bottom tier character. Even though Amani's 4th at the moment, you know, she used to be at the bottom of the list. Back up the message speed.
いえ、どういたしまして。喜んでもらえたならよかったです。
Put it on auto, crank up speed so I can only hear the lolly's voice lines. Right. I mean, look, there's a reason why the H scenes, or the 18 plus version in 9-9 defaults to the main character's voice being turned off. Alright.
あまねちゃんってすごいゲーム上手なんだね。
But like, you know, why is the standard not on the same level as hentai? Alright, that's all I'm gonna say. Hentai doesn't care if they have the guy's voice still in there. Alright, it's not like, you know, never mind.
上手ってほどじゃないですけど。また一緒に遊ぼうね。
She is dreading that day.
そうですね。はい。
Her hesitant reply is very in line with what she was telling me last night. When I'm jacking off, I really don't want to hear a guy's voice. It's hard to do it. If there is, at least for me. Good. At least I know you aren't jerking off to me reacting to the H scenes then. She doesn't dislike Kohibari, but still is somewhat uncomfortable around her. Either way, I don't think I need to intervene. Amani's not looking at me for help or anything.
いろいろ ついて教えて。あとね、他にも面白いゲームとかあったら教えてほしいかも。私の趣味でいいなら。いいよ、私は何でも。面白いゲームをやりたいのも本当だけど、あまねちゃんと一緒に遊びたいんだもん。
Play with me. I mean, play with me more. What? Never mind.
あまねちゃんの趣味で全然 OK。 むしろあまねちゃんの趣味を教えてほしい。先輩は他にはやってないんですか？今のところは第6感覚くらいかな。他にも興味はあるんだけど、なぜ種類も多いから。それに一緒にプレイしてくれる人がいてくれる方がモチベーションも上がる。
Basically, I want all my scenes on the lolly during hate scene as much as realistically possible. That sounds like what a Guna might say. Correct.
わかりました。何か考えておきます。やったー、楽しみにしてる。よろしくね、あまねちゃん。はい、よろしくお願いします。とりあえずそろそろ中に入れてもらおうか。ここは暑い。
I agree.
いらっしゃい。こちら冷たいお茶です。よろしければどうぞ。
Thanks.
それで結局私は何をすればいいの？詳しい話は全然聞いてないんだけど。いい加減話してくれませんか？暑い。いいじゃん。あまねちゃん可愛いからギューってしたくなる。髪の毛サラサラだしいいな。私ボリューム出ちゃうからさ。
I wanted to bring up the suspenders again in relation to Amane, but then they just keep showing the SDCG and doesn't let me see her model again. That's what Guna does, right? Constantly jacks off without coming as much as possible. Yes, they do like edging.
湿気とか大変なんだよね、マジで。ボワッって爆発とかしちゃって。サラサラツヤツヤ。トリートメントって何使ってる？サラサラにするコツってある？いえ、特には。トリートメントも普通で、あとはたまに美容院でしてもらうくらいですけど。
Dexter, if you have to clarify that you don't do it 24/7, that's not a good...
いいなぁ、羨ましいなぁ。というか、あまねちゃんの存在が羨ましい。家に連れて帰りたいくらい。それはちょっと困ります。
I only do it when I'm horny. Yeah, so do Gunas. But that's because they're horny all the time.
ねえ、ダメ？私のこと嫌い？それともお兄ちゃんのことが大好きだから離れたくないとか？
Only in one round.
はあ？気持ちの悪いこと言うのやめてください。あまねちゃんってそういうタイプか。だから気持ち悪いこと言わないでくださいってば。だって今日もこうしてお兄ちゃんに協力してるよね。それはくるみ先輩が考えてるようなことじゃないです。お兄の前世返りを放置してると私も被害を被るかもしれないからで。そっか。あまねちゃんも前世からのつながりがあるんだっけ？
Yeah, she was the residential cocksucker. I mean bloodsucker.
はい、そうみたいです。
Resident, not residential.
それよりもそろそろ本題に入りませんか？そうだった。ごめんね、すっか かり話を脱線させちゃって。結局、私たちは何をすればいいの？
Dexter, stop talking about gooners. I still don't know myself. You can tell us what the final test is now, can't you?
やっぱりここは、より強力な刺激を送る方がいいと思うの。より強力な刺激？まさか姫様、もっと直接的な？いけません！大事な恩義なのですから。もし、どうしてもそのような必要があるのであれば、私が
I don't mind. I'm okay with that. I mean...
私ごときの体では姫様には遠く及ばないでしょう。ですが、周囲の同僚からは男好きする体だと言われたこともあります。殿方から性的な視線を向けられることもしばしばありました。
Co-workers? What, in the other world? I thought you were role-playing as a student in this one.
いかがですか？私の体は！
Please stop threatening me. Like, you're legitimately scaring me.
人、それをヘタレと呼ぶ。
I did not expect them to use that word, and I did not expect them to use that word in that context, and in that with that meaning in this VN. Oh, piss off.
とはいえ、予想外のことが起きても困るから、あまり突飛すぎない方がいいと思うの。まあ、そうだね。だから、今までの延長線上で、こういうのはどうかしら。
Oh my god. So, like, is there a reason Noah's sitting in his lap? Or like...
ほら、もっと密着しないと。
Oh, she's not even sitting in his lap. He spread his legs apart so she can sit in between his legs. That doesn't make it any better. Let's just say. ここまでするとは聞いてないんだけど。私もまさかここまでするとは思わなかった。姫様の分も私が密着してみせますから。どうか姫様は離れてください。Yeah, see, you've got the two demons on the right, who are well, I don't know about Orie, but Kaguya doesn't seem to mind doing this. And then you got the two humans on the left that are, you know, let's just say that this is gonna definitely strain their relationship after this. And then you got Noah in the middle, the angel, doing God knows what, pun intended.
そういうわけにはいかないわ。マナの制御は魔族である私がした方がいいでしょ？それはそうかもしれませんが。これ、僕まで参加する意味ってある？僕には君たちみたいに押し付けるような部分とかないし。全員が参加することに意味があるのよ。周囲で誰かが見物してたら落ち着かないでしょ？それは。
Okay, no. See, what Kaguya actually meant is that the artist didn't know where to put you. So they created a spot in between his legs.
いや、だがしかし。
Because in this context, she's not doing anything. She isn't even touching him. Right? Like maybe she's pressing her back against him, but that's considerably less than what everyone else is doing. 今、僕のお尻にはうにゃんが。 Like, this is doing more for her than what she's doing for him. All right, because like she saw his dick. All right, that's
こんな風に刺激して、もし勃起したら僕のお尻を突き上げたりするんだろうか。同人誌には熱いとかドクドクしてるとかよく書いてあるけど、あれって誇張したものなんだろうか、それとも本当に熱くてドクドクしてるんだろうか。カチンコチンになるらしいけど、元はあんなにふにゃんふにゃんで。
maybe Noah needs to apply more pressure. All right, she needs to lean further back into him. All right, and then maybe she can contribute.
あれがどれくらい硬くなっちゃうんだろう。実物を見てしまったがゆえにいろんなことが気になってしまうだなんて。大丈夫だよ。お兄貧乳好きなところもあるし。
Well, it's not the reason why. Well, that's not the real reason why we're doing her route first. But you know, someone likes tiny tits more than everyone else's. Who made you expect? Who made you the expert on my tastes?
え、男の子って大きいのが好きな人しかいないと思ってた。
Just ignore Mane, please. She's joking.
ならやっぱり谷風くんも大きいのが好きってことだ。
So like, we've gotten 5 out of the 6 girls in this CG. Why isn't Fumika here? You know, she needs to finish the. Okay, so. Words. All right. I was about to say that the trifecta, right? But tri means 3, so it's not a trifecta. So it's a pen. Very. It's pretty confusing. Penfectra, I don't even know if that's a word, but the reason I paused is because 6 in relation to numbers, multifectra. No. 6 in relation to numbers can also refer to sex ketra. Don't ask why it is that, but you know that you go when you're counting up, right, in relation to numbers, right, you start from like the ones, and then you get the tens, you go the hundreds, and then you get to thousands. You get to millions, billions, trillions, right? There's the 3 again. Quadrillion, quintillion, which it would be this would be a quinfectra, I guess, and then sextillion, which is the 6th in that sequence, from starting from million. So if you added Fumika, which would be all 6 girls, it'd be a sexfecta. Never mind. You're really asking me that right here and now?
だって重要なことだよ。これだけして興奮できないとか言われると、何のために密着してるのかって話だし。
I don't even know if that's a word. Yeah, I can just look it up. Maybe it's something different. Because, okay, right, trifecta worked. Quadfecta is a thing, I guess. I don't think quin is, so I don't think it goes up. I don't think it goes higher than 4. So yeah. So it only goes as high as 4 in this context. So it doesn't. There's nothing higher than that. So there's no sex factor. There's no quinfecta.
あと、それはそれでなんかショック。
I seem to recall my sister saying something like that to me once.
意地があるんだよ、女の子には。
Well, anyway, I found myself in quite the peculiar situation. Kaguya has hugged me several times by now, but that's nothing compared to this. I have softness pressing against me from all angles. Maybe not your right leg, because Hiromi isn't pressing her tits against your leg like Kaguya is with your left, and Orie and Amane with your arms. And the sweet fragrances rushing into my nose. It's like nothing I've ever felt before. I can feel their body heat. I could smell their tantalizing scents. As their breasts tickled my ears and neck. This is the kind of scene you'd expect from a king and his concubines or something.
それで、どう？私が一人の時よりもドキドキしてるの？
I guess, but like, who's pressing their tits against his face? You know? None of them. And Noah doesn't have any, so... And I clearly feel something soft squish against me. It's amazing how keenly I can feel their volume.
ねえ、どうなの？リク、興奮してる？
Yes. I think so.
と思う？私だけでなく、姫様がここまでしてくださってるというのに。
I'm sorry, but it's kind of hard for me to think straight right now. This whole situation is, like, totally foreign to me.
お兄、童貞だもんね。
I doubt even 1% of guys find themselves in situations like these. Yeah, even in hentai, this is very rare.
そりゃそうだ。
As in, non-existent, because when it comes to a hentai with 5 girls in the harem, they immediately jump to sex.
なんかあれだね。もしこれで裸だったら体を押し付けて洗うやつだね、こりゃ。
Well, I was about to say you'd find more instances of the 5 girls being naked more often in hentai than them being fully clothed. In this situation, right? Keep that phrase out of your mouth. What was that transition? It didn't change anything. It's just panning up again. Tilting the camera up again. And Kohibari's abrupt comment, it sends my mind into fantasy land. My heart is pounding like a runaway train, and I can feel the veins on the side of my head bulging out. You should be feeling you should be feeling something You should be feeling some other body part bulging out. Never mind. At this point, I'm blushing from ear to ear. And pull yourself together, man. Don't focus on the stimulation. What is this? What are these transitions? It's the same CG. What? You're transitioning into a different camera angle. What? This is my final test. I have to pass it. Enjoying the added benefits would just be rude. Everyone here is trying to help me, so I need to take this seriously. My part. I have to remain calm and prevent myself from transmigrating. To prevent myself from being swept away to the beat of my racing heart, I have to detach myself from reality. I picture a calm body of water, but still, I must keep my mind calm, no matter how my body reacts.
結構頑張るわね。もう十分じゃない？
No, I think you need to do more work, Noah. Press up against him more.
これだけやって前世返りを抑えていられるんだ。かぐやとの刺激に慣れただけじゃなく、抑制させるコツをつかんだんだと思うよ。
Yeah, I kind of agree.
成功してるなら何よりだけど、念のためもう少し確認しておいた方がいいでしょ？
This is just an excuse now.
もっと押し付けちゃおう。
The softness of her feminine frame is pressed against me stronger. This is getting to dangerous levels. I want nothing more than to relax and indulge in the pleasure, but I have to subdue those base desires. You're just messing with me now.
そんなつもりはないわよ。何度も言うけど、こうすることが必要なだけ。最終試験なんだから、ちゃんと確認しておかないと。だから、織江もしっかりくっつきなさい。承知しました。
Don't worry, you'll like it in a different route eventually.
これ、お兄に必要なことなんだよね。ええ、そうよ。ならしょうがない。お兄がおもらししたら私も困るし。おもらし？おもらしって、何それ？どういうこと？
Yeah, I want to know what she means too.
谷風くんって、まだ、おねしょしちゃうの？
No, I do not. Will you stop it, Manny? You're not making this any easier on me.
お兄、そんなに動揺してるとまた前世返りするよ。とりあえず、もうちょっとくっつけばいいのかな。恥ずかしいけど。
Listen, Kurumi, you and Noah are the only two that aren't pressing hard enough.
これも必要なこと。僕の使命にも関わることなら。
You're definitely screwing with me now.
結局、前世返りはしなかったか。今ので成功ってことでいいの？うん。沈めるコツをつかんだと思って大丈夫そうだね。頑張ったじゃん、お兄。
That sounded half sarcastic.
こんなセクハラまがいのことに協力してあげたんだから、上から目線で合ってるでしょ。
Listen, I think this is only half as embarrassing as you sending him lingerie pictures. I do appreciate it. Thank you kindly.
よろしい。本当に仲がいいんだね。
You would know the half of it. Maybe not in this route, but definitely will be closer in other routes. In a different route. You think we are?
見える。むしろ仲がいいようにしか見えない。私一人っ子だから羨ましいんだよね、そういうの。
Personally, I think this is a case of the grass is greener on the other side. Well, I'm just glad I passed. Thanks for all your help.
いいわよ。私たちの都合にも関わることなんだから。そうだね。困った時はお互い様。クラスメートだし。ましてや私たちは前世からの付き合いってことでしょ？
I was hoping Kurumi and Amani would actually transform at least, but apparently not.
だから気にしないでいいよ。暴走されると私も困るし。とりあえずお茶を入れ直しましょうか。すっかりぬるくなってしまいましたから。そうね、お願いできるかしら。はい、承知しました。私電車だけど、みんなは徒歩だっけ？うん、徒歩だね。じゃあここで解散か。やっぱり家が近いのっていいな。どうでしょう。夏は暑いし、冬は寒い。雨の日は足元びしゃびしゃになりますからね。それに移動時間は少なくて済みますけど、その分寄り道とか若干面倒ですよ、逆に。なるほど、そういうこともあるのか。寄り道して飲んだり食べたりするのが好きだからな。私にはちょっと辛いかも。どんなところに寄ったりするの？大抵は楓やチカと一緒にシュタバとか行ったり。食べ物はその時々かな。お菓子の時もあるし、軽めの食事をとることもあるし。
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was not expecting a choice. But here's the thing, right? It's the same as when they asked to when they gave you the choice to show his penis to Noah, right? As in, it doesn't matter. Well, no, it does matter. It's just that there's no point in saving. Right? But, shut up. And, yeah, no need to bother. But Noah. Noah need to bother. Never mind. I probably don't need to bother. Thanks a ton for helping me today. Helping out today.
もういいってば。そんな大したことをしたわけじゃないわけでもないか。大それたことをしちゃった気もするけど、これも必要なことだったってことで。
I appreciate it.
じゃあ私はここで。
She reacts like she got a text message. She then takes out her phone and looks at the screen.
Kaede da.
I remember her saying she was going shopping. Is she asking you to go meet her? I better not hold you here any longer then.
いやいや、呼び出しじゃないから平気。どっちの方が可愛いか、その意見を聞かれてるだけ。どっちもいい感じなんだけど、確かにこれは悩むかも。ごめんね。私のことは待たなくていいよ。ここで解散しよ
う。Alright. We're going this way then. See you tomorrow.
教室でまた明日。あまねちゃん、また今度一緒にゲームしようね。はい、またいずれ。面白いゲームの方もよろしくね。わかりました。 それじゃ、バイバ
Alright, you two ready?
イ。
You two ready? After saying goodbye to Koribari, we start heading home. Noah and Amane walk in front of me. Man, I'm hungry. Glancing at a restaurant on the way got me thinking about dinner. I passed by a woman who I then realized has turned around to look at me.
あれ君
Oh shit, it's her again. I knew it would. I knew they would transit. I knew she would be brought up again. Huh? In this scene specifically, because they didn't transition out of. They didn't transition after, talking about walking back home.
あ、やっぱりこの前の子だ
Oh, you're the lady who was hitting on me.
警戒しないでいいよ。もうちょっかいかけるつもりはないから。
Oh, okay.
どうも飽きられちゃったみたいなんだよね、私。だから、君に声をかける理由がもうないっていうか。
ん？よ
くわかんないよね。まあ、あんまり気にしないで。私もよくわかってないし。とりあえず、あの時はごめんね。妹さんに引っ張られてたけど、大丈夫だった？
Yeah, more or less. She's not my sister, though.
ま、純朴な少年に迷惑かけたと思ってたんだけど、たまたま君を見かけて。せっかくだから、一言謝りたかっただけ。あの時は驚かせて本当にごめんね。
Oh, it's fine.
そんなわけで、私、これから仕事なんだ。じゃあね
What the hell was her deal? She just showed up out of nowhere and rambled on and then left. I don't get it. Nothing she said made any sense to me. Honestly, that felt intentional on her part. Although I guess that means there was some nefarious reason she was hitting on me. Logically speaking, she must have been after my powers. She was apologizing to me. Also, considering how the Mikuni situation went down, I can't imagine this woman was the mastermind. Ah, damn it. I should have gotten her to tell me why she was hitting on me before she left. Unfortunately, I was too lost trying to keep up with everything to do that. I do a quick scan of the area, but I can't find her. Maybe she went into one of the stores, or maybe even disappeared from into the train station.
お兄、何してんの？どうかした？
Oh, never mind. The streets are packed with people either coming home from work or school. I doubt I'd be able to pick her out among the crowd. I don't even remember what clothes she was wearing, mainly because I wasn't paying attention. I might have fucked up, like big time. I don't think you should have been focusing on the clothes. Maybe you should have focused on her grey hair. That would be a lot bigger. That would be a lot more distinguishing than her clothes. I'll have to let Noah know what happened when we get back home.
くるみ、なんだって？ピンクの方が可愛いんじゃないかって。ほら、やっぱピンクじゃん。だってちょっとベタすぎる気がするしさ。だからって似合わないの買ったら後悔しない？する。勢いで買ったはいいけど全然役に立たない上に気づいたらデザイン古くなってることが。ならピンク一択でしょ。そうだね。そうするか。ちょっとピンク買ってくる。わーった。待ってる。
お嬢さん。
Oh boy.
やっぱうちも買おうかな。可愛かったし。
お嬢さん。
Oh boy.
うち？
はい、あなたですよ。かわいいお嬢さん。
は？
そんな怖い顔しないでください。怪しいものじゃないですよ。いや、自分で言うなんて怪しさ倍増だとは思いますが。とりあえず、話を聞いてくれませんか？
いや、そういうの興味ないんで。
そう言わないで、ちょっとだけ。話を聞いてくれたらすぐに退散しますから。
なんかの勧誘？そういうのガチで興味ないんだけど。
Also, I think you're batting out of your age range a bit there, a bit far out of your age range. Not because he's a demon, but because she's underage. And I'm saying that because she doesn't have a H scene, which means that the warning label doesn't apply to her. So she's not 18 like Kurumi. She's normal high schooler age.
君が考えてることとは違うよ。ちょっとした頼みがあるだけ。頼みと言っても難しくない。簡単な話だよ。
何勝手に話し出してんの？興味ないって言ってるじゃん。
まあまあ、細かいことは気にしないで。君の知り合いに魔王がいるでしょ？彼に用があってね。
は？魔王？
そこで君にやってほしいことがある。何？簡単なことだよ。あんたの通う学院にこれを持ち込んでほしい。それだけ。
は？なんでうちがそんなこと？
持ち込んだ後のことは気にしなくていい。ただ持ち込むだけだ。
いや、
Oops.
だからなんでそんな頼み。
バックログ画面よ。
持ち込んだ後のことは気にしなくていい。ただ持ち込むだけだ。簡単な話だろ。悪いな。これ頼みじゃなかったわ。
お待たせチコ？おーい、どうした？
ああ、あれ？うち何してた？
何言ってるの？私がお会計してるのを待っててくれたんじゃないの？
ああ、そっか。そうだよね。
本当にどうしたの？大丈夫？
どうだろう。自分でもよくわかんないけど、なんかちょっと変な人に声をかけられたような気がする。
ナンパ？チカ、ナンパされたの？
Yeah, he had the same hair color as you.
ナンパではなかったような。もしナンパだとしたらかなりキモかったような。
There have been too many characters with gray/silver hair. One was bad enough with Kaede, and then you got the fucking Barker chick, and now that guy, Flavi. There's too many.
見た目の話じゃなくて話の内容がね。
And then you have Sora. What?
よくわかんないけど、その相手は？
わからん。変な人に声をかけられて逃げようと思ったら、なんか記憶が飛んでる。
何それ？記憶が飛ぶとかやばない？うちのおばあちゃんみたい。 自分でもやばいと思うけど。おばあちゃんみたいとか言うな。いつもの通りの地下だ。でも記憶が飛ぶのは普通に考えて危ないし、病院行く？煽り抜きだよこれ。分かってるって。ありがとう。でも平気っぽい？病院に行くようなことではないと思う。他に自覚症状もないしさ。そうなら早く帰って休んだ方がいいんじゃない？そうするよ。とっとと帰りますか。買い物も終わったし。ところでチカも買い物してたの？え？
Well,
天使創造リブート。
おはよう、谷風くん、のあちゃん。おはよう、くるみ。
hey,
どうかしたくるみ？いや、別に何かあるってほどではないんだけど、こうして顔を合わせるとなんか恥ずかしくなっちゃって、昨日のことを思い出すとさ。
what did I tell you? I told you that yesterday would strain their relationship. Maybe more specifically with Kurumi. Maybe not Amane as much. She's like, you know, she wants to bang her brother, but never mind. Hello, Yuki. It's been a while.
昨日の
that was quite the crazy thing we did. I had girls cuddling all over me, all against each of my arms and legs, all three of his legs. It was like my own personal harem. A situation like that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and only for a few lucky. That clip that was in media share and Discord got second place. Lol. Right. I don't care. How are you everyone? Good? You'd have to be some oil baron or an uber hot celebrity. Well, thanks for doing that, seriously.
なんのというか、ほんと気にしないで。そんな風に言われるとさらに恥ずかしいから。なんかとんでもないことをしちゃったなーって。とんでもないこと。確かにハレンチだった。密着させてご奉仕プレイ。
Stop. Stop. Don't say that. We're at school.
ワホン。確かにあれはあまり蒸し返すべき話題ではないと僕も思う。だね。思い出すとなんであんな大胆なことをしたんだろうって自分でも不思議なくらい。場の雰囲気に流されたっていうと大げさだけど、別に文句を言いたいわけじゃないからね。ただ恥ずかしかったっていう感想みたいなもの。
I know. I'll do you a favor and never mention it again.
そうしてもらえると助かるかな。それでついでというか
話題になったから確認しておくけど、その後の調子はどうだい？魔王の気配に当てられて何か変化は？ああ、うん、そういうのは全然。
How's the game going? They do a lot of yapping. A lot of yapping.
食欲旺盛、睡眠もバッチリ、絶好調。今日の授業も集中できそう。そうか、それは何よりだ。
Sorry. What, you in the middle of something?
用事って別にないけど。
Well, you were standing in the doorway, so I thought you might be going somewhere.
ぼーっとしてただけ。楓もチカもまだ来てないから暇ないよ。
Oh, yeah. That's weird. They're usually both here before me.
二人とも最寄り駅は同じだから、どっちかが寝坊でもしたのかも。一本乗り遅れたら次の電車が来るまで動けないし。徒歩だとそこらへん自由が利いていいよね。
Yeah, but that can lead to problems too.
わかる。あと5分、ラスト3分とかずるずるダラダラしちゃう系だ。谷風くんって割と寝起きは悪い方なんだ。
Oh, I can get up just fine.
どちらかというと天音の方だね。
Yeah, you might be able to get up, but there's a part of him that can't get it up. Never mind.
天音ちゃん確かにそんなイメージあるかも。
I should have said it, he can't get it up. Never mind.
よーす。よすよす。お、来た。おはようす。今日はどうしたの？ちょっと遅かったね。チカが遅刻して乗り遅れちゃったんだよね。いやー、危ないところだった。だから先に行ってくれていいって連絡したのに。いや、置いていけないでしょ。昨日のことを考えたら。昨日のこと？何かあったの？二人で買い物に行ってたよね。それがさ、チカが記憶喪失みたいになっちゃって。
See a lively game. It can get lively. Yes. It in certain ways the game can get very lively. You know, but then you get like you get whole sections of the same scene for like an hour straight. And a bit of an exaggeration, but when they exposition dump in Kurumi's high rise for the 10 millionth time, it gets very monotonous.
何それ？どういうこと？いや、楓は大げさに言ってるだけなんだけど。でも、何かしらそういうことが起きたんだよね。まあ、そうなんだけど。そんな大した話ではないって。
That's more visual novels. Dexter, I don't think you understand. People have found ways to make talking scenes in fiction interesting. More specifically in movies, but you know, the Monogatari series has a lot of scenes where it's just them talking, and that shit is not boring. All right, very artsy, so it's not really a good example, but you know, when it's an extended scene where it's an extended period of time of having the same background with the one character, and it's just their sprite moving, and there's nothing really much else happening, right? Other than them talking, right? You know, it's like, let's just say 9 makes it, it's not as boring, right? The exposition is not as boring. Like the toothbrush scene. No, not the toothbrush scene. The toothbrush scene barely has any dialogue between characters. There's a lot of thinking. That they think a lot in that scene, but you know.
ずっとこんな軽い調子なんだよね。
だってさ、家に帰ってからも特に問題も起きてないし、みんな心配しすぎじゃない？そりゃさ、心配してくれるのは嬉しいけど、大したことはないと思うんだよね。
心配にもなるでしょう。記憶喪失なんて普通経験することじゃないし。
99 is like a god tier visual novel series, so it's one of the best. 99 is great. God tier is like Steins Gate. God tier is like Umi and Echo. Alright? 99 is not on the same level. If you're considering the series as a whole, definitely not. If you're only considering episodes 3 and 4, maybe. But that's basically the same thing as saying, oh, Shinku's route in Irasekai was a masterpiece, while dismissing every other route in Irasekai, right? That's not how it works.
だからその言い方がまず大げさなんだって。記憶喪失じゃなくて、記憶が曖昧なだけ。
Would you mind telling us a little more about this?
そうだね。突然記憶喪失と言われても心配になるばかりだ。
本当は大した話じゃないんだけど。
So Shinku's route was just a god tier route? Yes. If not bogged down by the rest of the game.
私はレジに行ってたから実際に目にしたわけじゃないんだけど、ナンパされたんだよね。
Like that's the point of Irahika. All right, that Irahika was made to remedy the pitfalls of the rest of the game, while adding a bit more to Shinku's sister as well, because she didn't have a route in Irasekai, so you know.
ナンパだと？なんてハレンチな。
Shameless. I mean, it's not a pure thing to do by any means, but still.
だってナンパっていうのはあれだろう。優しく声をかけ、言葉巧みに飲み物を飲ませ、その中には怪しげな薬を入れて、その後。
No, that's not. Okay.
ゲストもめ。
I think she's been corrupted a bit too much now.
ゲスどもって。
だいぶ偏りのあるナンパ像だね。
Well, she gets her information from some pretty exaggerated sources.
違うの？
こっちもかーい。
Listen, these two may not know, but Kurumi definitely partakes in some pretty wild media, shall I say.
違わない。
Like, there can only be one reason why when she realized she got horns in her transmigrated form, that the first thing that she thinks about is having is someone grabbing her horns and you know, would an arrogate be considered a wild form of media? Yes. I wasn't discounting arrogate in what I was saying. What are you talking about?
おい。いや、面白がってるだけじゃなくて、下手に否定するより危険だと思い込んでる方が安心かと思ってさ。
そういう意味でなら一理あるか。面白がってるだけじゃない。
気にしない、気にしない。
It is always good to err on the side of caution. I'm pretty sure I heard a story happening along those lines on the news once.
そもそもナンパだったかどうかもあやふやなんだけどね。
でもさ、男の人に声をかけられたのは間違いないんでしょ？
そのはずだけど、何の話をしたかは覚えてないからな。
That actually sounds a bit concerning.
知らない男の人でさ、最初からうさんくさいと思ってたから、まともに話を聞かず適当に聞き流してたんだよね。そのせいかもって思うんだけど。
だからって思い出せなさすぎでしょ。
まあそうなんだけどね。
男の人と会話してその時のことを覚えてない。なんか催眠アプリのシチュエーションみたい。
Kurumi, we know you watch hentai and you read doujins and you play arrogate. Maybe not the last one, but definitely the other two. But like, that's not.
催眠アプリ実在していたのか。
No, they don't. And it's not an app. They just, you know, I'm sure that Klavi can just do that. All right, he doesn't need an app to do it. No, they do not. Not outside of dubious websites and books that aren't safe that aren't safe for work. Relax.
そうなの？本当に？存在してないならいいんだ。
Safe for work. He didn't even say the fucking acronym. He just said it out. The whole thing. I'm starting to think that educating herself on anime, manga, and porn wasn't the smartest idea. You think? Yeah, what gave you that idea? No, I think it's a great idea to educate her on hentai, on doujins. What do you mean? She never seemed bothered by it, so I just never gave it much thought.
催眠アプリって何？
催眠ってあれ？手が開かなくなりますよとか。
I mean, I never had sex ed. Okay. I did.
あれ？知らない？もしかして一般的な知識じゃない？
Kurumi, you don't need to expose the fetishes. You don't need to expose your fetishes, all right? I don't think it is.
でもノアちゃんは知ってたよね。
Probably shouldn't use Noah as a standard of knowledge. The standard of knowledge. Well, she's using non-standard methods to learn about about Japan.
そうなのか？それに谷風くんだって。
I mean, I think most guys do. I'm surprised you knew what it was, Kohibari.
アプリって言うからにはスマホのアプリだよね。ストアにあるのかな。
No, that she's too pure.
待ってやめて、調べる必要はないから。いやでも地下に関わることなら。してない、関係してない。アプリ云々はただの雑談、軽口、ジョークだよ。
Alright, hang on. Let me just No, better stay first. Shut up. She's only still first slightly. Very slightly.
本気にしなくていいから。それよりもまずは地下のこと。結局男と話をしたものの会話の内容が思い出せないってこと？
そういうこと。
Do you remember what he was like?
いや、それもちょっと難しくてさ。顔もぼんやりしてるけど、それはもともとだと思う。人の顔を覚えるとか苦手だから。
You have to focus pretty hard on someone to actually memorize their face. I don't find that point too unusual. Memory loss, on the other hand, is anything but normal. According to what Kinoshita said, she doesn't remember anything about the conversation she had yesterday. It's definitely not a hypnotism app. That only exists in hentai, and this definitely isn't a hentai or anything that I can reasonably rule out. However, one other possibility comes to mind. Could our otherworldly visitor, the one after my power, have tried to manipulate Shiraishi? So, like, where's Kaguya in all of this? I think it would be very important for her to hear about this, you know? Magic can easily erase someone's memories. I know that firsthand. Given what happened to Mikuni, it seems the most likely possibility. Which means Noah and I share a glance. She must be on the same wavelength as me.
何？うちの顔になんかついてる？
Oh, no, nothing there. I'm just a little worried about everything I've heard.
悪いね。谷風くんにまで心配させちゃって。本人的にはそんな大層な話でもないんだけどね。
So, if you don't mind me asking, was the memory stuff the only thing that seemed off? It doesn't have to be anything concrete. It could just be like a feeling or a hunch.
ないと思うけど。何？そんなガチのトーンで問われるとうちまで怖くなるんだけど。
Sorry, I wasn't trying to. I'm just, if I start talking about magic, she'll think I've lost my marbles. I'm just worried about you. Not worried enough to like her, but you know, that was the best excuse I could come up with.
そんなに心配するなんてなんだか。あ、まさか谷風くん。
ん？
地下のこと好きなの？
I could, if she had a route, but no.
はあ？楓ってほんと恋愛脳だよね。
Yeah, say that to the guy who makes me play only eroge visual novels.
そんなに心配するなんて気になるってことなんじゃないの？は
あ、あんたほんとやめな。そうやって面白がるのは趣味が悪いから。 別に面白がってるわけじゃないんだけどな。ただ私にはそう見えたってだけで。だとしてもわざわざこの場で口にすることじゃないってこと。ほら、なんか微妙な空気になったじゃん。あ、ここからは若い二人に任せましょうか。いい加減にしろ。ちょっと叩くことないじゃん。しつこいあんたが悪い。くるみ、チカが叩いた。おー、よしよし。でも今のは調子に乗りすぎた楓が10-0で悪いかな。辛辣。わかったよ。反省します。ごめんなさい。ほんと反省しなよ。谷風くんもごめんなさい。
All good. You don't have to apologize for that. Just out of curiosity, though,
何？
hypothetically, if Konoshita hit the nail on the head, how would you respond?
は？
This has has nothing to do with his actual feelings for her. He's just trying to check if if she's under the same spell as Mikuni was, right?
谷風くんも調子乗りすぎ。
It was a serious question.
今すぐ素直に謝るなら許すけど。
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
よろしい。
I was studying Shiraishi carefully through this entire exchange. However, nothing seemed off about her.
別にそんなんじゃないんだからね。
I mean, I wasn't expecting something that obvious, of course. Are you sure? Because, like, with Mikuni, it was pretty obvious. But she's acting as normal as can be. The only comparison I have is Mikuni, but from that, it seems unlikely Shiraishi is being controlled.
とりあえずカバンくらい置かせてよ。谷風くんたちもカバン持ったままじゃん。そうだね。
See, like, I just talked about how boring, I guess, fucking the whole exposition dump in Kaguya's high rise, right? But like that whole part was it was getting there, but it was objectively a lot better, right? It's like there are just small things that small things that you can do to make the scene less boring, and the added characters definitely helps with that. Better than only 2 characters, and one of them barely shows their face in during the exposition. But with 3 characters, Noah included, we all head into the classroom. I take the chance to tap Noah on the shoulder. Can we talk?
わかってる。
What do you make of the whole of the whole thing with Shiraishi?
記憶が飛ぶなんて普通ではないと思う。
That's not true, Noah. That even in young people, they still have gaps in their. Never mind.
何かしらの魔法を使われた可能性は十分あるだろうね。
But she totally snapped at me. I feel like she wouldn't have if she was being controlled like Mikuni.
告白をさせてその子に子作りさせるという方法ではないということだろうね。彼女の様子は普段と変わらないんだろう。
Yeah, I didn't notice anything at least. Though I don't really know where all too well, but didn't know her. I don't know her all too well to begin with. She can be pretty blunt, and seems like the more level-headed one of the group. Meanwhile, there was very obviously something wrong with the way Mikuni was behaving. I guess we were right to assume they'd try something different.
軽く接触をしただけで利用するつもりはなかったか。もしくは彼女をおとりにしているか。
Technically, I don't really know what relation she has with that item, or what the item is meant for. Well, I hope she really is fine. Either way, we should probably let Kaguya know, right?
そうだね。
And why isn't she here? She'll probably be here soon. Let's go wait for her at the entrance.
そういえば今日はなんで電車に乗り遅れたの？記憶喪失とは別件？
全くの別件。忘れ物をしちゃって家まで取りに戻ってただけ。
珍しい。鹿が忘れ物するなんて初めて聞いたかも。ちなみに忘れ物って？
これなんだけど。
ああ、それね。結局何なの？
さあ、うちもまだ理解してない。
アクセサリー？でも身につけるものじゃなさそう。
なんか昨日気づいたら買ってたっぽい。
なにそれ、怖っ。呪いのアイテム？
昨日記憶が曖昧なタイミングで手に入れたんだと思うんだけど。
Look, I knew there was a reason they brought up that they haven't put their bags down yet, but like, how come this is happening right after Noah and Riku leave?
詳しいことが思い出せない感じ。
ずっと持ってたんだ。しかも忘れたら家に取りに帰るなんて。そんなに気に入ったの？
そういうわけでもないんだけど。くるみ、これいる？
私？いや、別に欲しくはないけど。
Probably a good idea that she doesn't hold it.
ちょっと貸してもらっていい？
楓は結構欲しかったりする？
ああ、全然。全くもって欲しいわけじゃないよ。軽い興味があるだけ。
そう。はい。
しかし、本当になんだろうね、これ。びっくりした。楓、平気？大丈夫。驚いただけ。針？
そんな機能があったんだ。
あっぶなー。指に刺さるところだったよ。
気をつけなよ。だって、うちが言えることじゃないか。とにかく、怪我しなくてよかった。
針か。こうしてみると注射器っぽい？でもピストン部分はないよね。とすると注射器ではないのかな。
Listen, all I'm gonna say is 99 Ambrosia. it has a similar design to that one, all right?
さあ。
とりあえずその針戻せる？そのままだと危ないしさ。
どうだろう。どうやって針を出したのかもわからないから。押し込めば、
おいおい、危ないって。
楓？
何じゃなくて。
こら、危ないものを持ってきちゃダメでしょ。
Ah, shit. This is Fumiko's significance, I guess.
あれ？先生。それ、もしかして注射器？あなたたち、まさか！いや、違うよ！先生が疑うようなことじゃないってば！
これ、うちが持ってきたんですけど、こんな風に針が出るなんて知らなくて。
Yeah, it's Shiraishi's heroin needle, alright? Kaede would never do drugs.
最初はただのアクセサリーとかだと思ってたから、っていうのは、やっぱり言い訳にしか聞こえないですよね。は
あ。でも先生、本当なんです。それにほら、見えるってだけで注射器とは別物なんですよ。ちょっと拝見。はい。
Don't stab yourself with it.
危ないものに変わりはないし、これは一時的に私が預かります。
Oh, of course. So then when Kaguya comes into the classroom, then they won't have the syringe to show her. Yeah.
今の言葉を疑うわけではありませんが、この場で返すわけにもいきません。放課後、職員室まで来るように、詳しい話を聞かせてもらうということでいいですね。
はーい。うちとしては正直、そのまま先生に没収してもらっても。
もし仮に没収するとしても、何の話も聞かないわけにはいきません。
ですよね。はい。
ところで先生、こんな時間にどうしたの？ホームルームにはまだ早いよね。
You know what? I'm glad at least someone questioned why she's here so early.
後藤先生との打ち合わせのために美術準備室に行くところ。そしたら学生が何やら危ないものを取り出してるじゃない？こりゃいかんとね。
ご迷惑をおかけしてすみません。
とにかく放課後に忘れないようにしてください。
わかりました。
ではまた後で。なんかごめんチカ、私が針とか出しちゃったから。
しょうがない。もともとうちが持ってきたのが原因だしね。
Yeah, but like you were kind of brainwashed into doing it.
放課後私も付き合うから。私も行くよ。昨日のことは知らないけど。
ありがとう。
おはよう。
Wait, she just fucking popped up. She didn't even fade in. She didn't even slide into frame. What? She just. Yeah, okay.
おはようございます。おはようっす。かぐやちゃん、おりえちゃん。よすよす。
よー。そうなに？なに？顔近っ。
少し元気がないようにも見えたから、どうかしたの？
そんな、心配されるようなことはないって。
それならいいんだけど、 顔色もじっとして。
にしてもそこまで心配されるほどやばいの？うち。
Also, I thought Riku and Noah were trying to meet up with Kaguya at the school gates. Why are they here earlier than them?
ごめんなさい。ちょっと気にしすぎたかもしれないわね。
Before them, I mean.
嫌な思いをさせたかしら。
嫌な思いってことはないけど、むしろ心配させてうちの方が申し訳ないというか、気を使ってくれてありがとうというか。
気にしないで。お礼を言われるようなことはしてないんだから。後藤先生、いらっしゃいますか？
ああ、小里先生。
I didn't realize that other teachers would also have a sprite.
打ち合わせいいですか？
ええ、もちろん。すみません。1時間目の準備に時間がかかってしまって。
いえ、こういうのはお互い様ですから。
それは何ですか？
ああ、これは学生が持ち込んだものをちょっと。
没収ですか？
いろいろと危なそうだったので、とりあえず一時的に預かりました。
もしかして注射器ですか？
私もそうかと思ったんですが、少し違うようにも見えて。ならなんだと聞かれると、私にもよくわからないんですが。
小里先生？小里先生？
はい、すみません。
どうかしたんですか？
いえ、すみません。少しぼーっとしてしまって。
大丈夫ですか？
はい。
その子はどんな子です？
真面目でいい子なんですよ。
でも最近はあの子に限ってということもありますし。
そんな風に思い詰めるタイプでもないと思っているんですが。
Yeah, she definitely hasn't also been spacing out like Fumika and Kaede did. What?
明るくて元気で仲のいい友達と楽しそうにしてますし、遅刻やサボりなんかもありません。何より嘘でごまかすよりも潔く名乗り出て謝るような子ですから。あ、本人としっかり話もします。放課後職員室に来るように伝えてます。
わかりました。話した結果、何か不安に思うようなことがあれば相談してください。
ありがとうございます。
それでは打ち合わせをしましょうか。
はい、よろしくお願いします。ノアの言う通り、チカが操られている気配はないわね。
Alright. I just like ending, yes, just like last time when we stopped right before Riku did the final trial thing or whatever. I'm stopping right before shit happens again, because shit's definitely gonna go down. But also, fuck this game. But they just is Kurumi just not gonna mention the syringe? I guess we'll never know until next time. But there's no IQ test that I'm doing at the end of this stream, so you know you get to see Kaguya at least. But thanks for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. If you enjoyed, a follow would be appreciated. If you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be playing more angelic chaos. Yeah, but until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye bye.